Welcome to a world of mysteries and enigmas. Have you ever watched your favorite childhood cartoons and felt that something was off? That beneath the cheerful animation and amusing chases lies something darker, something hidden from view? Today, we delve into a theory that might change the way you perceive one of the most iconic cartoons of all time, Tom and Jerry. For countless episodes, this cartoon has entertained generations with its physical humor and endless rivalry. But what if the story isn't merely about a cat and mouse battling for dominance in the household? What if a sinister secret lurks beneath the surface, and the very house where all the action unfolds is filled with enigmas and ghostly hints? Let's recall how the housekeeper appears in the cartoon. We see only her legs and hear her voice, yet we never witness her interacting with anyone. There are no guests, no family members, even mail carriers or neighbors barely ever appear in her life. It creates the impression that she exists apart from the rest of the world, as if her reality is confined solely to this house. Yet there's something strange. In some episodes, the furniture moves on its own, objects change positions, and Tom and Jerry behave as though the housekeeper sometimes is present and sometimes vanishes. Perhaps her spirit is merely repeating familiar actions, trapped between worlds. And what if Tom and Jerry aren't just pets, but something more, entities stuck in this house alongside her? Now, consider the house itself. The decor is old-fashioned, massive wooden furniture, faded wallpaper, and muted colors. There are no modern gadgets, no changes to the interior, creating the sense that time has come to a standstill. Isn't that how houses look where no one has lived for a long time? Perhaps Tom and Jerry are the only inhabitants of this place, unaware of its true nature. This is especially noticeable in episodes where the house appears empty and gloomy, devoid of the usual bustle and everyday sounds. If you look closely, you might notice that even when the housekeeper appears, her footsteps sound unnatural, like an echo of a distant past. This is particularly eerie if we assume that the house is not merely abandoned, but rather a kind of time trap where events repeat over and over. Another intriguing detail is that in various episodes the housekeeper looks and sounds different. Sometimes she appears taller, sometimes shorter, at times her skin looks darker, and other times lighter. Of course, this could be due to the work of different animators, but if we view it from a mystical perspective, we might suppose that her appearance changes because she is a ghost. Her form is unstable and adapts to the surrounding reality. Perhaps she isn't bound to a single form at all but exists only as an elusive memory. Interestingly, in some episodes she exerts a clear influence over the house and its inhabitants, while in others her presence is almost unnoticeable. This might indicate that her spirit sometimes grows stronger and at other times nearly vanishes, leaving the house in complete silence. In those moments, Tom and Jerry behave with particular abandon, as if they have forgotten about her existence, only for her to reappear and shatter their illusion of independence. There is one episode that stands out above the rest. In this episode, the house suddenly becomes empty, the housekeeper vanishes without explanation, leaving Tom and Jerry all alone. It seems as if she has simply dissolved into thin air. If she were a real person, where could she have gone? But if she is a ghost, her disappearance makes perfect sense. Her soul has finally left the place where it had been trapped for so many years. In this episode, the behavior of the main characters is especially striking. They seem confused, as though they can sense the emptiness that envelopes the house. Perhaps their familiar reality has faltered, and they find themselves in a world where the usual rules no longer apply. It's possible that, in that moment, the barrier between worlds grew thinner, and for an instant Tom and Jerry realized that everything around them was merely a shadow of the past. If the housekeeper is indeed a ghost, it could explain the behavior of the main characters. Tom and Jerry act as if the house belongs to them. They create chaos, move freely from room to room, and even when the housekeeper scolds Tom, it has no real consequences. Perhaps they have long been accustomed to her ephemeral presence and perceive her as nothing more than a strange voice from nowhere. One might even speculate that Tom and Jerry themselves are not just ordinary animals, but symbols of eternal conflict. Forces trapped within this house. Their endless struggle resembles a closed loop of events in a place where time seems to have stopped. If the ghost theory holds true, one must ask, what happened to the housekeeper? Perhaps she was the owner of this house many years ago and met her end under mysterious circumstances. The cartoon offers no direct hints about this, yet the atmosphere of the old house, her lack of genuine interaction with the outside world, and her constant disappearances all point to a tragic fate. Maybe she died suddenly, leaving the house without a true owner, but her spirit could not leave this place. Alternatively, her death might have resulted from sinister events that left an indelible mark, preventing her from finding peace. If the housekeeper is a ghost, then the real owner of the house likely left long ago. This might explain why, in some episodes, other characters appear, new owners or guests who come briefly and then quickly depart. The house may have been sold many years ago, but because of the relentless spirit that inhabits it, no one can remain there for long. If the housekeeper is not a living person but merely a shadow of the past, then the entire dynamic of the cartoon changes. Tom and Jerry cease to be just a cat and a mouse, they become inhabitants of an empty house ruled by a spectral presence. They are trapped in an endless cycle of repeating events, oblivious to the fact that the world around them has long since evolved. It is particularly intriguing that in some episodes other characters appear as well, guests, new owners, even other animals. They come and go, leaving behind only an impression of something ominous. This may hint that the house is cursed, and everyone who sets foot in it senses a threat that forces them to leave quickly. Perhaps the creators of the cartoon left hidden clues for the attentive viewer. In certain episodes, you can notice peculiar details, doors that suddenly close on their own, shadows flickering in the corners of rooms, objects shifting their positions. These small elements might be hints of the housekeeper's ghostly nature. And so we come to the end of this captivating investigation. We have examined a multitude of mysterious details that may point to a sinister secret hidden within Tom and Jerry. Perhaps now you will watch this classic cartoon in an entirely new light. Every time the housekeeper appears on screen, you might wonder, does she truly exist? And what if this house is not merely a setting for an endless chase, but something far greater? Ultimately, this theory remains nothing more than a hypothesis. Yet sometimes, the most unexpected ideas make us ponder just how many hidden meanings can lie within even the simplest story. Perhaps in the future new evidence will emerge to either confirm or refute this hypothesis. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe in this theory, or do you have your own explanation for the mysterious behavior of the characters? Maybe you've noticed something that went unnoticed by others. Let's discuss it together. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. If you enjoyed this analysis, please support the channel by liking and subscribing. More fascinating mysteries and unexpected revelations lie ahead. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you won't miss any new releases. See you again in the world of mysteries and enigmas.